Good afternoon, guys. Just a quick video. I'm going to talk about 1-point perspective, 2-point perspective, and the basic views, how to divide a rectangle, and duplication technique that I'm going to apply to all the views. Okay, so I'm just setting up a simple setup here to illustrate or to show the different views. 1-point perspective. This will be a 2-point perspective grid. And then I will quickly show a 3-point perspective grid, or actually just the effect that it has. So if you look at a cube or at an object, there's 6 basic views. Okay, and I've created this cube. Actually, in the previous video, I'm just going to copy and paste this in. But looking at this cube, you can see there's 6 cameras that's around this cube. All right. So the basic views that we have is, okay, so let's just take some notes first. So just want to show you guys that we're going to talk about the perspective technique. This is probably one of the most difficult things I have done in my life, is creating these videos. I think I'm probably in like 6 hours that I've been practicing this, doing it over and over. Still not perfect, but getting there. Alright, so the basic views that you have is there's 6 of them, but 3 of them are the basic views. It's top view, front view, and a side view. Okay, so camera 1 is looking at the top. So I'm just making an estimate, and that's all I can do is I can actually guess the distance or the dimensions of this cube, because we're not using any like a circle or a ruler or anything to tell us. So I think the front and the top, it's going to share the same width. The height will be different, so the height we will see in the side view. So looking through camera 5, which is the side view, we can establish a height. Okay. It's just me trying to figure out like what is the height of it. So looking at the side, you will see it's a little bit thinner. Alright. And this is why perspective drawings is so important, because with a 2-point perspective we will be able to get a nice view of the whole box. So 1-point perspective started with the front, like all the homework you had to do, and the corners recede to the vanishing point, converge to the vanishing point. Okay, to keep that same width. And so this is the distance that I'm guessing now, because there's no way for me to really know what it will be. Okay, and then I just complete the box. Just make sure everything connects up nicely. I'm using like the shift key to draw straight lines. Here and there I will do a freehand, but this is just to keep the video flowing. Okay, so 2-point perspective, you've got a left vanishing point and a right vanishing point. Okay, the only difference here is that the horizontal lines are not parallel to the viewer. Okay, so we start off with this edge of this box. These 2 lines goes to the right vanishing point and one goes to the left vanishing point. Right? Okay, so there I'm choosing the true height of this box, connecting to the left and the right. Then I choose the depth, so this is the front, it's the longer rectangle. And then I connect to the left vanishing point, and here I choose the distance, the one that I've estimated. And the side view is a little bit the smaller cube, so this is the side view actually, and there's a 2-point perspective box. 3-point perspective box, 3-point grid, actually the same. The only difference is that now the camera is not pointing, it's not parallel to the ground plane. So this is where we talked about in class about the tilt. So you're going to look up, so a new vanishing point is created way above the horizontal line and way below the horizontal line. Okay, or, so it depends if you look up or down. And then you will see the lines converging to those, so the verticals are not parallel. In reality they are parallel, but on this grid they are not. Here I'm just connecting all the corners and completing the box. 3-point perspective is a little bit tricky. So it's important first to, yeah, I'm looking down and you can see the dramatic effect. So it's important to actually know 1-point perspective and 2-point perspective really well and be very comfortable with it. Okay, so yeah, just checkbox all the views that we have, 1-point, 2-point, top, front, and side. Okay, the vision of the rectangle, we've done this a few times. Just going over the basics again. Rectangle, you connect the corners to find the center point. Quite easy, very helpful. And then by establishing all these views, I can do exactly the same thing in perspective and in the 3D view. Oh, and then I just divided it horizontally in half and then vertically in half. Okay, so now I'm going to do the same for the top view. Divide the box in half and vertically. You don't always have to do all the construction lines, only the construction lines that you need. So this is just for demonstration purposes that I do everything. Okay. And the same on the perspective grid. Let's start with the 1-point perspective. I'm going to take the rectangle in the front. Let's just get another color. Okay. Cross the sections, find center point, draw a line horizontally through the center point to divide it. Okay. Here the rules apply. Vertical lines are parallel, horizontal lines are parallel, so I don't have to worry. Same with the 2-point perspective, but in this case the center point, the line dividing it horizontally is not parallel to the viewer. So this needs to go back to the vanishing point, and then I extend the line, and then I get the line there. Alright. If I add verticals, it's easy enough, just straight line down. 3-point perspective, same as with 2-point perspective. I'm going to cross the section, find center point, and then the center point needs to go back to the right vanishing point so that I can get so I can find that line. Alright. So the next thing that we would want to do is, okay, so now we divided the rectangle, which is very useful. And now we're going to use this, especially the center point, to duplicate this box on all these views. Right. So if I want to go to the right, I'm going to think of this line as the mirror line, or the symmetry line. Okay? And this line, I need to find the center point. It's very important. So we did. And then the opposite edge, or the edge that I want to carry over, one of those 2 points need to go through the center point and connect down, and there I duplicated the box. Quite simple. And the awesome thing about this is that we can do this in all the views. So you don't have to measure anything, you don't have to guess. There's a system. What you can do in 2D, you can do in 3D. But there's a few laws that you have to obey. Okay, same thing, cross over, find center point. I want to duplicate down. Okay, now I have to extend the width first, because this is quite easy to do, and take one of those points, move through center, connect, and horizontally just complete the box. Okay, so I duplicate it to the right, and then again down. So now I'm going to do this on all the views so that you can see how this looks. And remember, you're looking through these cameras. So if you make changes to the box, you will be able to see this. Okay, so let's start with the top. I just want to, okay, so just figuring out which side is right. Keep your bearings straight. Alright, to the right. So we did already establish center point on that middle line. Okay, remember, this line's important. One of these two corners crosses through the center point and it comes down. Duplicate it. So from the top, that's how it looks. Front to the right. Think of this as folding a book, turning the page. So that edge needs to come through the center point again, down, and you duplicate it. With freehand sketches, sometimes you miss, or just by millimeters, or you're not sure where it is, and this is what's happening here. Is I'm just checking myself, correcting my mistake, or figuring out what I've done wrong. And at the end, I reversed engineer the thing, like perhaps I just missed my line could have bent or something. Here you see it's too far. Okay. And you're allowed to make mistakes. You're allowed to find ways to correct it. So there I just took the line down and see if the trick still works, and it does. Something human error. Okay, side view we're not going to see because it's duplicated to us. Same on with the 1 point perspective. Okay, duplicate to the right, so easy. Find the center point, take the edge that you want to take across through the center point, come up. Okay, those points go back into the vanishing point to give us this depth. And I just used the previous box, the dimensions of the previous box, and just extended those lines. Same with this box, connect, go through the center point, back to the left vanishing point, and then just close the box. And there I duplicated on a 2 point perspective. Okay, so sometimes you can see this rectangle is long. I will use like a smaller rectangle to do the duplication, because if I'm going to go down with that line, I just only need that point. So instead of doing the whole construction on the whole thing, I just use that small bit. Okay, and then just connect everything. The thing with the 2 point perspective and the 3 point perspective is that all sets of parallel lines goes to the same vanishing point. Okay, and that's about that. That's the duplication technique and the basic views. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Have a great evening and see you guys in class.